Dharmabytes is brought to you by Free Buddhist Audio, the Dharma for your life. Our work is funded entirely by donations from our generous listeners. If you would like to help us keep this free, make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. Thank you, and happy listening.
But yeah, just notice where you go, or where we go. Over here we go hopeless, and over here we go, get out, yeah. We've all got all of that, and we probably tend to oscillate between hopeless, what's the point, why bother, it's all a waste of time, and, screaming and yelling and panicking. And so, we've all got those and other responses, but those are particularly, we can oscillate between those ones very easily, polarized between those different states. So the elder figure has tried his cry of anguish, get out, the house is on fire. So then he tries what I call a cry of inspiration. And in the context of the sutra, this is known as upaya kaushalya. And this means skillful means. Or I think in the Vimalakirti they call it skill in liberative technique. But that's a bit technical, it's a bit wordy. But anyway, skillful means. Upaya kaushalya. And this is big because in the sutra, because the goal of enlightenment is described in terms of insight or wisdom plus skillful means. So this is kind of like compassion, but it's the skills associated with compassion, that you know how to really be compassionate. So they don't really mention compassion in the way that we recognise from other Mahayana sutras. They talk more about upaya kaushalya or skillful means. The father figure knows what kind of toys they like, so he knows their individual temperaments. This is really important because making a general appeal doesn't seem to have much impact, but if you make a particular appeal, that does seem to have some kind of impact. Yeah. So he understands them. He has some knowledge of their inner workings. He knows what kind of toys they like. So he promises 3 different carts depending on the children's temperaments. He promises deer carts, over here to my right. He promises goat carts, and he promises bullock carts. I'm not hearing so many takers for bullock carts, but now what these actually represent, in terms of the sutra, in terms of the world of the sutra, the deer carts represent the Hinayana or Shravakayana. So the deer carts actually represent the Hinayana or the lesser ideal. The goat carts represent Pratyeka Buddhayana. Goodness knows what that is, but anyway, that's apparently Buddhas who gain enlightenment on their own and then keep it to themselves. Apparently that's a category. And the bullock carts represent the Bodhisattvayana. So we're probably more familiar with that because that's more current in Triratna. It's the intimate for the benefit of all beings, yana. So this might be a bit too much detail, but anyway, these carts represent different formulations of the Buddha's teaching, or even different schools of Buddhism. So you're probably aware of different schools of Buddhism. You've got like the Theravadan schools from Southeast Asia, you've got like the Tibetans and all the kind of, red and the gold and the kind of, and then you've got the Zen, and then very austere simplicity, lots of black, kind of Zen gardens, meditation. So you've got all these different schools of Buddhism, okay? Yeah. So how do you make sense of these different schools of Buddhism, or these different formulations of Buddhism? Well, in the context of the parable, these are represented by these different carts, these different forms of carts that the Buddha offers. And they appeal to different temperaments. In the context of the sutra, they appeal to different temperaments. That's why they're there, because they appeal to different temperaments. A particular appeal is more effective than a general appeal. And of course, the children come rushing out. So a subjective approach or a particular approach is more effective, more attractive than an objective, universal approach. From the point of view of getting people out of the house, the more exclusive those carts are, the better. Yeah, the more exclusive, like, this is the best cart. These are the best carts. The goat carts, the best carts. that's more appealing. That's much more attractive than, oh yeah, take any cart will get you there, never mind. It's just like, we'll all get to the same place, So it's more attractive if it's specific. Now, we don't need that kind of approach in the West because we have a historical perspective. We also have a perspective on all these different schools of Buddhism. We know about these different schools of Buddhism. We know about these different formulations of the Buddha's teaching. We could just be Buddhists. We could just be Buddhists practicing the Buddha's teaching.
We hope you enjoyed today's Dharma Bite. Please help us keep this free. Make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. And thank you.